Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Welcome, welcome. Live from Austria, Weber Tours. Geschmack Moed. We had a great day today. What is it called again? Where did we go today?
Lech?
No. We went to Lech, but went to Azah. Okay. Kitzer, we had a great day today. We saw waterfalls and rivers and the views were outstanding. Mamish. Unreal. I'll read a few emails. I'll show you here. Show you this one right here. Morabu Masech Hashem Baruch Oise Maise Bereshis Rebbeinu Shalom. I came and I conquered. I saw your Alps, and they are wonderful. They are beautiful. Never seen anything like this, really. It's unbelievable. Right on top, on that ridge, Bezer Hashem, coming to you soon, a satellite location, MDY. We paid €29 a person just to get up the cable car to see this. But during the day, this is not Holtzgau. This is somewhere else. What? I don't know. Eli Stefansky thinks he knows because he speaks Schweizerdeutsch, so he knows all. Oh, you're there?
He was there earlier today.
One in the cable car that carries 80 people?
Yeah.
Wow. Bufi Kofer? Gewaldig. But Holtzgau is unbelievable. We went, we took us, it was like 13,000 steps back and forth.
For some of us.
And it was just amazing views. I'll show you some of the views. Rabbi Sai, just a few emails. Hello, hope all's well. I want to tell you that I was very impressed when I came last week on Sunday to this year. So yesterday I spoke about being machnas orach in different shuls in MDY to do it even more. It just so happens to be that somebody sent this to Mark a couple of days ago before I even discussed this. No one knew me and I did not know anyone. As soon as I walked in, I was greeted warmly in MDY as an old friend or a family member who just returned. I was asked if I have a place to sit. When I said no, I was immediately guided to a place pretty much in the front. I was offered coffee, cold drinks, some cakes and cookies. It really felt at home. A true sense of belonging wrapped me. Yes, MDY is a family, a large one in numbers, but small and intimate feelings. I'm proud to belong to this family. Thank you so much. Moti Ziegelbaum. Greetings to the great and highly popular Magid Shkoyach, who has turned Daf Yomi into a brand none other than the legendary Rebelli. Shkoyach. First of all, like tens of thousands of others, I greatly enjoy watching the shir through Kol HaLashon. Rebelli's personal and charming stories, the humor and the jokes, the clear and pleasant language, together with the fascinating animations and entertaining videos, create a powerful attraction to learning the daf. There are simply no more excuses. Here's the line, Rabbi, listen to this line. Rebelli, you're taking away our free choice. You're taking away our bchira. No longer have bchira, you have to do it. Secondly, as a music enthusiast, I would be very happy to know the source of the beautiful opening tune that's played at the beginning and end of every shir. I've attached a sample file. Thank you in advance for your response, and please forgive me for asking such an unusual question. Well, we all know we have the very talented Nachman Seltzer, who's an author of probably 50 books, maybe more. He's writing a book right now on MDY. Should be ready by the Siyum HaShas. It's going to be in English and in Hebrew. But he's also very musical. He had a great voice, has a great voice. He sang in Miami Boys Choir, etc. And he put together a few songs for us. So this is one of them. Talking about the hotel, I'm not saying this lightly. The food here is amazing. It's fantastic. And after I was stuffed to the gill, mamish, another course. It was salmon wrapped in other fish, and then they had the raw fish stuff, a whole plate. Everybody get different types, the raw tuna, the raw salmon, if you're into that. Dessert on different levels. Then it was done. And I run the shir also, and there's a carving station there. Guys carving away meat that's better than everything else he served during. So the guy making eggs for us was a chef on the Caribbean cruise, and the guy, they're all very high. The pastry lady is world famous. She's like the top kosher pastry lady in the world. As soon as my wife and the other women heard the name, oh yeah, her, yeah, Vada. So she's doing all this. Yeah. So Join us if you can. I know tickets are super expensive now because of the World Cup and everything, but not that many people are. Very, very small Olam. And those who are here, we're bringing. It's very, very gishmak. Service is unbelievable. That's why we came back here, because of the food, the service, the rachves hadas, and of course the great places here. There's so much to see. Neflois habayra. As you're driving to these places, your mouth is just open. You can't believe another scene, another mountain, another waterfall. As you're just driving, you see all the rivers. It's just crazy. Every picture, every video that I'll show you, you have to times it by 10. The video doesn't capture.
Amplify it.
What do you think about Austria compared to Schweiz? It's very the Alps of the Alps, right? All right, Rabbi said, let's do the sponsors. Same designer. Official edition of Duai Shas, Mesechta Zev and Zial Shulov. No, it's very different than Italy and the Dolmites. Perek, Ilan and Mary Davidovici that are coming for Shabbos. When are they coming?
Next week. Next Wednesday. Tuesday.
Oh, next Wednesday. Lidish was Shai Ben Aaron and Yocheved Chavi Yitel Bas Avrom. Daf Nun Hey, Michael Merrill for the merit of a safe and happy summer for all of Klal Yisrael's campers. Amen. The Masechta is sponsored by David Salomon, dedicated in memory of Avimoiri, Reb Shmuel Baruch Ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doi Zuchron Livracha, and by the Palachik Family Foundation, in gratitude to Consortium and the Alliance and all they do to support MDY. Anonymous, Atzlach Baruch Tzvi Gashmis, and thank you to Chief Benny, Shmuel and Uwe Schuster for continuing Atzlach and Nachas from our children. Anonymous for a complete refuah shleima and Arichas Yom Talei Bas Esther, B'Yom Daniel Rosenfeld, Bris V'Simcha. Monthly sponsors, Anonymous, Leonishmas Yonatan Eitan Ben Mordechai Zev, HaKoyin Zuchron Livracha, we miss him so much. The Tzvi's, Leonishmas Yonatan Eitan Ben Mordechai Zev, HaKoyin Zuchron Livracha. Monthly sponsors, Ari Simon, Refuah Shleima Avi Meir Baruch Ben Miriam. Anonymous Refuah Shleima, Rabbi Ruchim Ben Yehudis, and Avram Yeshaya Ben Slav Dvaira. Amen. Weekly sponsors, the Spanish Year sponsors, in honor of the first 3 Bachrim in the Mexican satellite location, Shmuel Yehuda Abramchik, Moshe Lanayadu, Yinon Greenberg. We're very excited about the Mexican satellite location, as we are very excited about the Costa Rica location. Anything Spanish is amazing. Shuli Wasserthiel is the daily sponsor in beloved memory of our dear mother, Edna Wasserthiel, OBM, Tes Tammuz Tavshin Pei Aleph. Anonymous, Refuah Shleima, Esther Bas, Luna, month, the art of the month, Refuah Shleima, Mordechai Ben Esther, Lefuah Ayelet, Daniel Zev, Ben Ayelet, Esther, Rabbi Yisai. Here we go, 9 lines from the bottom, Daf Nun Dalid, Omud Beis.
Efrat Liebfreund.
Efrat Liebfreund is the pastry chef here.
Wow.
And amazing stuff. Shabbos, the Kiddush was like, they're very large here. Okay, Givaldik. Rabbi say we're here in Austria. It's Neflois Habayr Mamish. You see the waterfall over here. You see the mountains. You see snow. Dozens of feet of snow covered with a little dirt. But we got to learn Torah in every situation, in every place. Says the Heilige Gemara. We discussed in the Mishnah that when you have a kana, even if it has a small hole, it's not treif. But if the kana has a hole the size of an iser, then it's treif. I should say kisela, but we're in the middle of the waterfall, so I said kisela. So says Rav Nachman like this, Rav Nachman, kisela ki yeser min kisela. Think about it. When I tell you I'm going to give you a test from Daf Beis till Daf Lamed, how many Daf do you have to take a test on? Is Daf Lamed part of the test, or it's up until Daf Lamed? That's ad v'lo ad b'chlal. Daf Lamed is not included, or Daf Lamed is included. So when I tell you everything is kosher, everything is green up until a sela. Beyond the sela, it's all treif. What about the sela itself? What about Daf Lamed? Obviously, you're not going to take a test in Daf Lamed Aleph, Lamed Beis. You're going to have to take a test all the way to Daf Chav Tes. What about Lamed? What about the Isser? From the fact that Rav Nachman says Kisela, Ki Yeser Kisela, he says that the sela itself, Daf Lamed, is like more than a sela. And we're going to go into it a little bit more. Up until a sela, obviously, is kosher. Everything beyond the sela, obviously, a hole larger than the sela, is treif. What about the sela itself? Exactly a sela. So that's the famous machlokes in Shas of ad va'ad b'chlal. Somebody brought a mashal in the other shir. You're supposed to say Borchi Nafshi on Shabbos, every Shabbos. It says ad Shabbos HaGadol. So do you say it on Shabbos HaGadol or not? Ad means, in that case, not Shabbos HaGadol. So if Rav Nachman says that when it's the size of the coin, it's already also strafe, that means he says ad v'lo yad b'chlal. Because he's saying up until now it's kosher. This sela is not included in up until now. This sela is beyond. It's lamalo. We're going to see it's above. If it's below, it's included in what he said, which is kosher. But it's not. It's above. It's the next category. It's another mashal, a good mashal, is that in Dirshu, they give you a test. They say, from Daf Beis until Daf Lamed is the test. So do you have to prepare Daf Lamed for the test? So there's a stira, they say, in Dirshu itself, because when it comes to Gemara, it's not included. When it comes to Mishnah Bura, that it says that until Sif Lamed means including Sif Lamed. Okay, Ayin Shom in Dirshu. Next time I speak to Reb David, I'm going to ask him what's pshat in the contradiction. Akol Parim is going to tell me Lo Yehovel Nivra. But let's say, certain things it includes. When you say up until here, means but including that. And some say up until, but not Shabbos HaGadol. So Rav Nachman says not Shabbos HaGadol included. It's not included. Kisel is above. It's already the next. It's already Pesach. It's already afterwards. Kiser, and when it comes to the kana, when it comes to the trachea, not the esophagus. When it comes to the trachea, the breathing tube, it's another type of coin, kiser. So when it's exactly a iser, kiyeser, it goes lamalo, goes above, it's already the next category. When he says up until, it does not include the word he used, the ki'iser, the whatever shear he's using. It's already in the next category. So now the Gemara is going to ask, you didn't help me out last time. I told you to count. Now you have to count. Let's count together. Here's number one. You have a bed that has a string that's hanging off the bed. Strings themselves are not mekabel tuma. But if they're part of a kli, then they're mekabel tuma. So it says, if it's up until 5 tfachim, ad 5 tfachim tar. It's too small. It's not appropriate for any kind of malacha, so it's not a kli tar. But up until 5, where's the 5? What about 5 itself? My love chamisha kilamato. Chamisha is also tahar. Says Gemara, no, we're going to have the same question, same answer multiple times, maybe 7 times or so. Ad chamisha tvachim tahar. My love chamisha kilamato. Lo chamisha kilamalo. It's like Rav Nachman. When I mention a word, it means it's in the next category. It's not with the category that I'm mentioning it with. I'm not saying from 0 to 5. But the 5 is already from like 5 to 10. It's already in the next category, which is awesome. Tashma, which is a kli. Tashma, number 2, thank you. From 5 to 10 is Tomei. Says Rashi, a beautiful thing. What would people do with this string from 5 to 10? They would use it to tie a sheep to their bed Erev Pesach. To Mekayim the mitzvah. Should we koyshim es apsochim zeichel Pesach Mitzrayim, says Rashi. Today we unfortunately don't have a Beis Hamikdash, so we don't bring the korbanos, and we don't tie a sheep to our bed. Akopanim, it says from 5 to 10, it's Tomei. Remember that Tomei is a chumrah. From 0 to 5, it's tar. It's a kula. We would say now it's like a chumrah. So my lav asar kilamato. It's in the category of asar lo asar kilamalo. It's beyond 10. It's already a different category. Tashma, number 3, hadakin shibkli cheres. When you have small earthenware kalim, hey mekar, if they're broken, even if they're broken, but as the Gemara is going to say in a second, but if they say yoshim shaloi misumachim, they could stand on their own. So you have a piece of broken earthenware that's just the bottom, or you have a wall, but it could stand on its own. So it has a shear that if it can hold this shear, it's considered a kli Otherwise, it's a broken kli and it's not makabel tuma. Shiurim b'chdei sikas katan. Sikas katan means that you could wash, shampoo a young child. Vadlug. So if you could hold that small amount of soap, vadlug, that's the shear. Now adlug, what's adlug? My lav lug kilamato. Once again, we're going to ask a question of Rav Nachman. He says lamala. Here seems lamala. Loy lug kilamala. Toshma, what number is this? 4. Milug ad saw beravias. Now we continue with these kalim. Once they're larger, they're from a lug till saw. It has to contain more than that. It has to contain a revius, like what we drink now. 80. What time is it? We have a camera. Everything's good, yeah? Okay, no, I'm looking at a message Mark Ashkenazi sent me. I didn't see it before. Okay. My love, sorry. Milo got sober vis. My love, so kilomato. We're talking about Kasha Rav Nachman. It's down. Loy saw kilomalo. Toshma, number 5. Misoavad so sayim b'chatzilog. It has to hold the chatzilog. My love, so sayim kilomato. Loy so sayim kilomalo. Oh, so it's only 5? Vatanyo asked the Gemara. All these, you answer me that it goes shtims with Rav Nachman, that it goes to the next category lamala. Even though I thought it's lamata, but time it says before in the brisa, look kilamata, saw kilamata, sasayim kilamata. All these things that you just answered me, that it goes to the next category. By the way, if you don't like this whole advad b'chlal, it's mamish going to be over in a minute. New sugya, typical chullin, every 2 minutes is a new sugya. Oh, but it says before in the brisa that we go with kilamata. Says the Gemara the side, and this answers everything. Hasam l'chumra. When do you go kilamata? When it's a chumrah. We always want to go in shiurim. We want to go to the chumrah. Says Gemara, so we're always going to go to the chumrah. So if lamala is a chumrah, we go lamala. If lamata is a chumrah, we go lamata. When it comes to a woman and a stain of dam on a kesem, on a piece of beged, so over there we go lahakal. Why? Because the whole idea of ksamim, that a woman has to be concerned of dam on her clothing, that's only a derabanan. And memela, we are mekel. Taikenami, diktani alodahi, chamisho kilamalo, asar kilamata. Mefurish, in that whole mishnah over there of kalim, we have the chamisha, we treat it kilamal because it's l'chum lamala, and asar kilamata because once it goes above asar, it's not a kli. So asar would be like a kli, chamisha would be like a kli. Bekitzer, you go from both directions. We're always being machmer in the shiurim. Rabbi said brand new sugya. Before I tell you sugya, I want to tell you a story. It's a crazy story. It happened today to me. It happened today. There was a guy that just was working on my house less than 2 weeks ago. He put in a flooring, we put American wood floor in our house, and he's the best in the business. And I befriended him, he was sitting in my house for 3 days, schmoozed with him a bunch about the daf, and he showed me pictures of, he has a little kid, a little girl, I think she's like 12 years old, the whole thing. I believe he's like in his 40s or something. Kitzer, he's a big smoker. So I told him, in Shir, I spoke about, we're doing a thing about not smoking. Why don't you try to stop smoking? He's like, he came with these bags and he was rolling his own cigarettes. I said, it's not healthy. He says, no. Today I got a message that if we can, please learn Lilu Nishmasai. He never woke up. He went to sleep. He didn't wake up. The guy writes to me, Imamish, he went to sleep, nothing, for no reason, he didn't wake up. So last week what's his name? Yehuda Schwartz? The guy that has a status. Yonason Schwartz. I knew it's something with the Yud. Yonason Schwartz, very powerful status. He mentioned what I said in Shir, and he said he was very stark about it. He's the guy that said, I'm not selling scooters anymore. Has 6 toy stores. So he's like, I have friends that they said, they died suddenly. He says, what do you mean suddenly? The guy smokes like a chimney. He didn't die suddenly. He has bad lungs. Smoking causes strokes, causes heart attacks, causes cancer. 33 people die every single day in Israel from smoking. What do you mean suddenly? If a young guy who's 45 years old smokes like a chimney, is it possible that that's what killed him? Because it's possible. Now, I don't want to upset his family, and they might have other reasons. I didn't speak to anybody. I really don't know. I just got a message. I see this guy going out and taking a cigarette break every 10 minutes. on his own dime because he was getting paid by the job. And I'm like, hello, this is not healthy. Yeah. So be mature about it. Rethink it. People like Yisrael Goldstein, Yossi K, a bunch of people, David Salomon, they stopped. It's possible to stop. And it helps you, it helps your wife, it helps your family. Think about it. Rabbi Isai, we're on a bridge that's between Shemayim and Aretz, a couple thousand feet from ground level, in between two Alps. Beautiful waterfalls, beautiful rivers. Mamish Niflois Habayra. Love to learn a little Gemara up here. It says in the Mishnah, Nitalat Choil, if the spleen is completely removed, the animal is not a treifa, it's kosher. So the Gemara makes a distinction. And you can look it up. I looked it up this morning on ChatGPT. There's a difference between removing a spleen completely and puncturing the spleen. If a human being or an animal has a punctured spleen, they could die. But if you remove it completely, then it's kosher. It says Gemara, Oma Avira Mishmei Derava, Lishonu Ela Nital. Aval Nikav Treifa. It's only because it was completely removed, but if there's a puncture, then it's Treifa. What about if you cut off a piece? Cut off a piece. What's worse, cutting off a piece or a hole? So that's also interesting. We'll see in a second. When the entire spleen is removed, then it's kosher. Aval Nikav, but if it has a hole in it, then it's a Treifa. Mosav Rabbi Yosi bar Avin v'Tema, Rabbi Yosi bar Zvida. If somebody cuts off a limb from within an animal, a pregnant animal, cut a limb from the baby. Is that called Ever Menachai? No. Muta b'achila, you're allowed to eat it. Comes muta through the shchit of the mother. But if you cut a piece off the tchoil umenakloyes from the spleen and from the kidneys, also b'achila, you're not allowed to eat it. Ask the Gemara, you're not allowed to eat that kidney, that piece of spleen. Why? Because it is Ever Menachai. But mashma that the animal, the mother, you're allowed to eat. It says also b'achila, that piece, doesn't talk about the mother. How could you eat the mother? It's missing a piece of the spleen, and we just said that if you poke a hole in the spleen or you take a piece off the spleen, it should be a treifa. If you remove the whole thing, beseder, but we're not talking about removing the whole thing. Just took off a piece. Says of course the animal is osir. You just made it a treifa by taking off a piece of the spleen. We're just trying to mimic the lashon of the reisha that says mutter, so we say osir in terms of the actual spleen itself. But about the mother is also osir b'achila.
We explained this. It's not a ben pakua situation, right? Because then it would say ben pakua.
No, not a ben pakua. But it's as the aver of the mother. Urba yarachimoy. You shechted.
It's the aver of
the pakua, but the pakua is not. It's not a part of the pakua anymore.
No, we explained it here that you left the aver inside.
Yeah.
Inside the mother.
You left the mother inside, and when you shech the mother, the aver becomes mutter through the mother. But not the spleen. The spleen is different than a limb of the uber. A big nice chiddush. Okay, we said another pshat. When we said that making a hole in the spleen makes the animal treif, that's true for a hole. But if you take off a nice chunk of the spleen, it's similar to removing the whole spleen, and that animal remains kosher. Nitla akloyes, it says in the Mishnah, both if the kidneys are removed, it's kosher. If it became diseased, one of the kidneys became diseased, it's a treifa. And where exactly? How exactly? It's in the place of the, how do you say charitz in English? A crack.
Crevice.
A crevice. Okay, there's a crevice. I'm going to show you a beautiful. We'll do the turning of the daf because Mark Ashkenazi went to turning of the daf. Tammuz, the Dark Global, the official non-corporate sponsor of the MDY League, Encore Healthcare as a schus for all of Klal Yisrael. So now we'll go to the Rebbe Avram Weisfish. Beautiful. Here are the kidneys. This is a large animal, and the amount of fat that covers the kidneys is incredible. But he's going to show you.
This is the head of the clothes. You go back to the side. You find the clothes. What's the clothes? Using the comb. And you see the loben shebekunya. You have inside, it's got the loben shebekunya, and that's what they give you now. Where it's connected to the clothes.
You see that crevice over there where the white is? That's what you're saying, I believe.
Oh, not the crevices in between the kidneys.
No. The back crevice. The back. There's like a long line. It's one crevice, not a bunch of. It's a charetz, not a crevice. It's a charetz. It's like maybe there's a better word than crevice. More like a. You saw in the back. It's like the chivara de tusi masne, the white part that's underneath by the loins, masne. I asked all the rabbanim in Eretz Yisrael, the ones who make treifas, who paskin on treifas, v'amrli. Hilchas Kerachish bar Papa halacha is that a kloya, that their kidney, which became diseased, is a treifa. The lay silchas keravavira, and the halacha is not like a ravavira that says that when there's a hole in the spleen, that it's a treifa. In the spleen, we're talking about where is it kosher in the thinner part. So here's Rabbi Weisfish again. Here's the spleen.
This is home, the belly castle. It's got two parts here. There's a thicker part, the other hand, and there's a thinner part over here. You've got a neck over here, on the thinner part. It's kosher, level. You've got a thicker part, and you've got the thicker part over here. And the kidney arms, and you're done. Don't be straight. Don't be straight.
If there's a hole in the thicker part, it's called smuchen. Thicker with sumche. When there's a hole through and through in the thin part, then it's kosher. Sumche in the thicker part, treifa. Like this right over here. If there's in the spleen, there's a thickness of a dinar. Then it's kosher. Amri b'marava. We say in Eretz Yisrael, kol hapoisel bereya, kosher b'kulya. If there's a treifa when it comes to the lungs, that is actually kosher when it comes to the kidneys. Sharei nekev pasul b'reya. A little hole is pasul in a kidney because of b'kulya, but in a kidney it's kosher. They say a lung. Okay, sharei nekev pasul b'reya. A hole is pasul in a lung. The kosher b'kulya, and that same hole is kosher in a kidney. The kosher the kosher b'reya, and if something's kosher in a lung, certainly it's kosher in a kidney. So the Gemara asks a question. Mascular tanchuma, like 10 lines down. Uklalu, is that really a rule? Varei mugla. When there's pus, the kosher bereya, that is something that's kosher. In a lung, upasul b'kulya. Where's that pus thing here? Right over here. Geshmak a picture. Pus in a lung is kosher. Pus in a kidney is pasul. So it's the exact opposite of what you just said. Varei mayim zakim. When there's clear waters, the ksherim hacha v'hacha, both of them are kosher. Now the Gemara says, Elo Amar Ravashi, treifas komendamis ladadi. What are you comparing treifas? We already had this Gemara. You can't compare one organ to the other. Remember, we had it. If you cut in the lower part of the leg, the animal will live. But if you cut in the upper part of the leg, the animal will die. Or the fakert, sorry. Cut in the lower part of the leg, the animal will die. Cut in the upper leg, part of the leg, I asked. If you cut a finger, the person will live. If you cut the arm, he could possibly die. I'm saying the upper part would seem to be worse, but it's not. But over the Gemara is saying, according to Rashi, if you shecht an animal on his neck, he's going to die. If you do the same type of cut on his thigh, he won't die. So how you bring a raya from a thigh to the neck, from a lung to a kidney? They're two different organs. Zog the Gemara. Umayim zakim sheirim lo yamar tzili. When you find this water, it's kosher when they are clear. Avlachir when they're cloudy, treifa. V'chitzil nami lo yamaron. And even the clear water, suriach, doesn't smell of a suriach treifa. If it has a smell to it, an odor, even if it's clear water, it's a treifa. Hakul yishektina, a kidney that shrunk. Bedaka, when it's a small animal, akipfoil, the size of a, how do you say foil in English? Certain bean, a legume, because there's a bunch of Sephardim, like there's a whole type of Sephardi that if they eat it, they die. Remember that story, the chassan was on a plane, and they gave him a story, yeah.
Like hummus and fool?
No, not hummus, pool.
Like that goes on top of the hummus, the fool?
Could be.
It's a bean.
It's a type of bean, they're very allergic to it. A whole, like, what are they called? Like a Russian, Bukharim maybe. Fava bean.
Fava bean.
Bigasa, when it's a larger animal, at kanova benoinis. So I had a mamash kiss for me, personal kiss from Hashem. It's not going to mean anything to you, but I'm doing this intermittent fasting thing, and after Shachris, I didn't want to eat breakfast, but I walked by to get a coffee, and right there by the coffee, there was a bunch of grapes. So without even thinking, I grabbed the grape, made a eight, and ate it. And they're like, what are we doing? I'm in the middle of intermittent fasting. But then I realized it's because it was a medium grape, and the Gemara is talking about medium grapes. Who eats medium grapes? Nobody eats medium grapes anymore. So it's nice, juicy grapes. So here's a medium grape. You see, this guy right over here is a medium grape. It's nishtahin and nishtahar. It's not very small, but it's not very big. Oh, here are small grapes. Only in this hotel they have. No, I know it's not grapes. I know. I know. It's a berry. All right, Zok the Gemara. He should. I'm making a shemra. I'm making a Eli Stefansky. I'm ruining the Stefansky. Does it ever bother you? Like this? What's this Eli Stefansky saying? It's okay. You used to it already. Huh? We all can't help it. It's not the first time Stefansky did that to you. I hear. What does it say here? Because I remember this is from the Rishonim. Let's see. I just want to make sure this Daled. This is in the Goinim. That's Rishonim. It's Goinim. That what? When the lower here, here it is. It's completely removed. If it's completely removed, it's kosher, provided that a human being could feed it. That's an addition by the Goinim. The Gemara doesn't say that. Okay. If you can't stuff the food into its mouth and it's going to die like that, then it's a treifa. Says the Gemara, another sugya. It says if the womb was removed, Tana, it's the same word. Haim, hitar pachas, vishal puchas. Anytime the Gemara will mention one of these three words, you know it's talking about the womb. Remember this guy right over here who's scared. So one of its lungs shriveled. Now listen to this. We say b'dei shomayim kshera. Secondly, it says b'dei adam treifa. If it happened, a person went boo, and it got so scared that its lung shriveled. Treif. Reb Shimon ben Elazar Omer av b'dei kol habriyos. What is Reb Shimon ben Elazar adding? The first part, that b'dei shomayim kshera, or that b'dei adam is treifa? He says all the briyos. Let's say a lion went rah, scared it. Then it's what? It's treif or it's kosher. Ibaylu, Reb Shimon ben Elazar, Areisha Kayu Lekula, was he saying anything with the Shemaim is kosher? Also when lions do it. Or even people. Is he arguing? He says even people that scares is like a B'dei Shemaim. Or Yaseva Kayu Lechumra. Or the Sefer that says that a person that scares an animal. It's treif. And I'm telling you, other creatures, it's also treif. They call it brios. Not only a person, but even a lion. Tashma. It says Mefurish, the Sanya Charusa b'dei Adam treif. Well, it says in the Brisa that if it happened through a person, that you got scared through a person, it's treif. They call it brios. Not only a person, even other animals. So you see that he's machmer, he's not mekel. Rav Rechana was walking in the desert. He bumped into a bunch of rams. The tzamik ready to do. Their lungs shrunk. Also, shal be midrasha. You didn't want to throw them out. What should I do? This is the rule. In the summer, I say you should take a white earthenware, melino maya, kriri, to put cold water in it, van chinu lace, and leave it there for 24 hours. So just yesterday, we were in a beautiful lake, Lake Walensee, and we saw people. The first time we ever saw it, the first time I've ever seen it, the water is very cold. And they took the watermelon and they put it in the water so that later on, when they open up the water, it should be nice and cold. So punkt, I didn't say anything about it, but our artist used that as a mashal. And here it is. In the summer, you take a white earthenware and put water in it, and it cools off the lung, and you leave it there for 24 hours. And if it goes back to where it was before, then that's considered heavenly. If it goes back, it's kosher. Sorry. Yeah. Besifsa, but in the winter, Aisi Meshichli Shichume, do the same thing but with a black earthenware. And fill it up with warm water. And put the lung in there for 24 hours. If he goes back to its original form, it's kosher. And here we have a little short video. All right. Rabbi said the sugya of gluda. So just to remember the beautiful art for it. Got to show you this video again. Why not? It's a classic. The whole character is a classic with his beard, with his payas, with his yarmulke, and the little potato guys with the yarmulkes. So if you ever were wondering how an animal loses all its skin, it's because he went in a potato peeler. And the Satmar Chassid that was here last night, somebody saw him on the thing and he says, are you using your potato peeler? Like somebody sent him a message. Okay, turn on our bottom.
The slide is in.
Oh, here it is.
Yesterday we saw that.
This is a picture from yesterday. They put a watermelon in cold water. Okay. Says the Gemara, Agluda. Torah Rabbana Agluda, Remeir Machshiv, Chacham Poistam. So it seems like there's a machlokes between Remeir and Chacham. Remeir says that an animal without skin is kosher, not a treif. Ukvayei the Lazar, Safra of Yochanan ben Gudgal, Agluda Psula. And they say it's possible. Omer Reb Shimon ben Elazar, Chazabay Remeir. You should know that Remeir retracted. He holds that an animal without skin, a gluda, is possible. Meklal, the Reb Shimon ben Elazar, Pligi, the Remeir begluda, and Reb Shimon ben Elazar holds that no, Remeir still argues. But Tanya, Reb Shimon ben Elazar, Reb Shimon ben Elazar himself says, here he says before, Remeir agrees to Chacham that it's possible. Rabbi Shai ben Osh, Rabbi Yehuda, Basam, Rabbi Kiva, Meshum, Rabbi Tarvan al Gdush Psula. Okay, the other people say it's possible. But Remeir holds it's kosher. Like Chachamim. And if there's left over a little bit of skin, the size of a sela, kosher. Because the whole idea is, Rabbi Yisai, that if there's a little bit of skin left, it could regenerate and it could heal. But how much? So what does it mean that they didn't argue? The Remeir didn't remain with his machlokes. Sometimes a person gets stubborn. A person is in an argument and he wants to win. Everybody wants to win. I'm a winner. I never lose my arguments. My entire life, I always tell my wife, in an entire marriage, I only lost to you twice. It's a certain gaiva, I don't lose arguments. No, it's not true. Twice today. But it's a male chauvinist thing, me, I never lose. Says Remeir, I'm going for the truth. It's Torah. Sometimes in Torah also, you see in yeshiva a lot of times, a guy's like, you bring him 25 rayas, and he's like, no, it has to be like this. You know what? It's a certain gaiva. He says, no, but I want to, somebody just sent this to me. It was very emotional when I read it. There was a guy just now in Muncie, ran over his chavrusa's baby. Kid, not a baby, a 8-year-old kid. And the father said amazing things at the Levaya. I don't know the exact words that he said, but he said, this is not going to get in the way of our friendship. and things happened, v'chulu v'chulu, and it really stirred up something in Klal Yisrael. The people that heard about this, a lot of people said, I'm in a silly machlokes with my neighbor. I'm in a silly machlokes with my brother. Silly machlokes with my father. You know how many people fight with their own mothers, with their own fathers? They don't talk, not in talking terms. And for shtusim, a guy called me up. He said, could you please make a shalom between me and my father? I was like, what happened? I said this, like the dumbest things, like you're saying from the outside, like what? Mamish, doesn't make sense. Somebody just told me yesterday, a true story. A couple got divorced because they bought a couch and they had a fight where to put the couch. And it just, no, you think it's dumb, but it snowballed into such a, you're acting like your mother, and you're like your father. And before you know it, that's it. It's done. The marriage is over. So anyway, people took it upon themselves to call, make that phone call, make shalom with that person. You all know that one person that has that little, it's a machlokes, and v'chulu v'chulu. Da'il chakim b'remizi. Here, no, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about myself. I got plenty of phone calls. All right. Zog the Gemara. Omar Mar. Im nishtayir boy. Did you say a lot?
Wow. Took me out.
I didn't. No, that was. Everybody knows it's not true. I know of one fight that you had with somebody. Not a fight. You had an argument. It had to do with the yeshiva, and you made sure you called the guy. You made it 20 times, and you made up. V'chulu v'chulu. Okay. Anyway, so weiter. Omar Mar, he doesn't watch this year. If one piece of skin the size of a sela is left on the animal, kosher. Heicha, gifvaldika pictures. Where exactly is this piece of skin? Could it be on his nose? Could it be on his toes? Like where? It has to be on the entire top of the spine. As the Gemara is like this, very, very skinny, narrow, on top of the spine. Get schmacka pictures. A sela worth, like a fishing line, long, very, very thin, but long. The arch of a katan is very long and thin. The you have a sela. When you put it all together, it's one sela. Dilma beroich of sela bnei hasheder kula, or perhaps it's very wide, something like this. This, a little thicker. That should be the sela, the whole size, the whole length of the spine. Zog to Gemara. Toshma, the parsha of Rabbi Shmuel Shmuel, Baruch Kisela Pnei Kol Asher Rikula. It is a sela, wide and as long as the whole spine. In other words, many selas. It has to be on all the joints. Here's Rosh Prakim, a beautiful job they did here. You see on all the joints, on the knees, on the thigh, on the spine. But how do you say tiburoi in a nice way? Belly button. Navel. Boy, Rabbi Shmuel. Oh, so now he's saying if the skin must be on the shedra, and it's a no place on the body but the shedra. So what if you do the reverse? It's on the entire body, missing on the spine. I thought we had a picture for that. I think yeah, here. He has hair everywhere. I mean, it's skin everywhere, but he's missing the spine part. It's a great character. Come on, it's an original. Got pious, the whole zach. It's a kras of the pious, with the board. He's drooling. He has a thermometer in his mouth. He has a box of tissues. It's chashuv. Walking around. He's a yarmulke. Guidance from kapel. All right. What if he's missing from the navel? He's missing. He has everything, but his navel is missing. He must have that also. He has everything besides the joints. My teiku. All that's a teiku. Should we stop over here? Have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.